What is up, guys, and welcome back. It's episode number 4 of the Dawn of Man series, where we talk everything about the future, where this world's gonna go. And today we're gonna talk about a very exciting topic: augmented reality, also known as AR. And this was actually requested by one of the subscribers. Clinton Illa commented on one of our videos, said, "Hey, I want to know what you think the future of AR looks like." So here we are. Let's get right into it. So the future of AR is truly one of the most exciting technologies in my perspective that is going to unfold in the coming years for multiple reasons. First of all, because it is, I think, the closest to realization, and secondly, because it has the least amount of negative implications. So I can truly say, like, a lot of the AR that's coming out in this near future truly is only amazing. It has really enhanced our life. It deepens our life. It just unfolds the kind of experience we can have in this world. So let's take a step back, though. What does augmented reality really mean? Where will AR really take us? And where I really want to start this conversation off is by recognizing that AR is one of the most already applied technologies that we have. Because augmented reality really means is we are adding layers on top of the reality we're already experiencing. So one example I could give is your iPod, your iPhone. When you listen to music, and this goes all the way back to like Discmans or any type of device that played music, you are augmenting your reality. Like maybe you're standing in nature. There's maybe some birds chirping. There's maybe it's the wind gust that's making a small sound, but there's no music playing. Well, now, because you have devices where you can listen to music, you're augmenting your reality, and all of a sudden, maybe you're listening to like a piece by Mozart, or maybe a piece by, Breaking Benjamin, like whatever music you're listening to, you're bringing something that's not there into your reality. And crazy enough, when we listen to music, only we can hear it, not anybody else, unless, of course, you're listening way too loud. And the interesting thing about that is that already now, with, for example, music, I can have a different reality than the person standing right next to me, because the different music's playing will convey different emotions, will convey different ways that we see and feel reality. And there's many different devices that are already out there, be it music. You could even say, if you want to go real simple, things like tinted sunglasses. They augment the reality, but because like reality looks certain colors, well, now they have shades of orange and all that kind of stuff. That is very, very basic stuff. And of course, now we're moving into the future where we're going hardcore, where things will you will be truly able to define what your reality looks like, even though we all more or less live the same reality. Of course, everyone has different perceptions, but it's going to go to a level where, for example, you wear contact lenses, right? Or maybe even have a device that's connected to your brain, and you will be able to look at people, and you're like, this person looks familiar. I don't know where I know them from, right? And it will pull up the name. It will say, okay, well, this is Roman Hopp. He's from Germany. This is his age. This is social media profiles. Oh, by the way, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 mutual friends. By the way, you guys took a picture before at this event, and you're like, oh wait, of course, I remember who Roman is. And essentially, it's no longer you playing games with your memory. You're just like looking at something like, I'm trying to remember. It basically is able to source, like the internet, social media, and everything for you. And you're really able to augment, improve reality in the way where you can look at people, get more information about them. You can go through the store and maybe, look at a product and see, okay, well, this has too many carbs for me, maybe you can even put a filter on, remove, blur out any items that don't fit my diet. So there's really there's no limitation to how we can augment reality to really make our lives better and make our lives fit more into the way we want to live it, if that makes sense. So there's really no limits to it. You can even go to all the way to combining AR and VR, where, for example, maybe there's some live event, right? And now other people, so for example, let's say you want to go to a concert and your friend also wants to go to concert, but perhaps maybe he's sick, maybe he has some kind of condition where he has to stay in the hospital, right? Now he can attend that concert through virtual reality, But then also, maybe you will see a projection of him inside, through AR. It's going to augment your reality where you see him via AR and he's going to be there via VR. See, but that's not it. I think when we talk about AR and VR, it's so important to realize that we don't just limit ourselves to the senses of sight and sometimes audible senses, but much rather expand it. When we are going to talk about augmenting reality, I think the true future will be a future where we'll augment all senses, where you can walk into a room and perhaps, that's something that I imagine within my books is that where, the rooms or maybe even the foods and like everything will be rather plain in base reality. Where in base reality everything is really simple, but then you can enhance it the way you want it. So imagine, for example, you go on a date with somebody and maybe you're into a certain type of food, she's into a different type of food, you're into a certain type of like style of a restaurant, she's into a different style. So perhaps, you could literally sit down in a very simple room and you are going to augment that room to look maybe like a Japanese style restaurant and make your food taste like you're eating sushi. Well, she perhaps is more into Mexican and looks like she's in a Mexican restaurant, maybe even listening, like her ears are gonna make her believe she's listening to Mexican music and it tastes like Mexican food, but you're sitting at the same damn table in the same room with no music playing in the background in base reality and probably just eating some kind of mush that has no taste, but your taste buds will make you believe that you're eating a certain type of food. That is really the ultimate extent of AR that I see happening, where there's really no bounds, where we can really redefine how we experience reality. And that kind of AR will make VR almost unnecessary. So the exciting thing about this is that the realization of AR, I believe, is the closest of most of the technologies we're going to talk about. VR, truly immersive VR, is really going to take quite some time to come to full fruition. Even things like blockchain, once we, in order for Bitcoin to become the global world currency, that might take perhaps a decade. That's something that Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter and Square, recently said. So that all this stuff is going to take quite some time. But I think with AR, we're already at the cusp. I think this is something that we might already be seeing a lot more in the coming 3 to 5 years. And it's already unfolding right now with our phones without anybody knowing. Where you already have an AR device on you at all times, quite simply your phone. Apps like Snapchat, apps like Instagram, even Facebook, they created whole developer kits to allow people to create more AR related apps, where the simplest application that all of you know is your Snapchat filters, your Instagram filters, where you look at reality and all of a sudden there's a Bitmoji dancing around, or maybe there's bunny ears flopping around over your head, stuff like that. That is AR in one of its first high-tech, so to say, applications that have truly gone mainstream. And it's only going to get more. We've already seen games like, Pokemon Go take hold, but these were all just the early movers. And this is as old as like 2016, 2017. So once we get into, 2018, 2019, 2020, you will truly see AR, hitting mainstream, and to an extent it already is with apps like Instagram and Snapchat. Now, with Dawn of Man series, we always talk about, what could go wrong, what do we need to be aware of, like how are we gonna descend into dystopia? Well, with AR, there is less negative. However, there is a certain level once we get to that can be insanely dangerous. And that level is once we actually truly connect the technology with ourselves. And that level will, that's how AR also connects a lot with transhumanism. Transhumanism being all about basically improving upon ourselves. Transhumanism, like transcending human limitations, if you want to put a simple definition on it, right? So we're transcending human limits by, for example, us being able to access all the knowledge at the site, or us being able to hear things that aren't really there, or us being able to run fast, to live stronger, to live longer, all that kind of stuff, to all of a sudden embrace different shapes. But transhumanism is going to be a completely different conversation, but simply to pull it back. So the danger with AR will be once, for example, we no longer have let's say, contact lenses or glasses, that will project things for us, but much rather, for example, we connect it with our brains. There's already companies working on things like this. For example, Elon Musk's Neuralink, where the whole concept is that we're able to connect our brains to computers, or connect our brains to the internet, and so on. Now the catch is, it sounds amazing when you connect the brain to the internet. Now you're able to, you're basically exploding human mental capacity, because I can access other computing power. I can access outside information storage, where I can basically say, maybe, in school, you're not only in schools, because like in the past you would have to memorize things. Now you can just access the internet, and within a heartbeat you know the answer. It's like, imagine if you, instead of having to type out something at Google or ask, Google Home or Alexa, you just have a thought. Who was the, let's say, who's the 12th president of the US? Boom, it gives you the answer. You might have never read about it, but it's out in the internet, so you can access it. So this will be truly like this will be a key part in the transhumanist revolution. It will be a key part in basically keeping up with AI, staying superior, this competing with AI. And really, this is kind of like a crossover. But again, that's a different video. We can get really deep, so I'm trying to stay focused here. But here's the issue. Here's the main issue with all this, is that once you connect, for example, let's say your brain to the internet, and again, augment your reality by being able to, see things that aren't there, because now you can say, hey, you just like you talk to your Alexa or to your Google Home, it's like, hey, play me the song, and all of a sudden plays a song there. But now it's actually just going to play a song in your head, or you say, show me the weather, and in the past you would look at a TV screen. Now you just literally see it in your mind's eye, or you see it like projected onto your eyes. So what we have to understand is that once we open ourselves up to the idea of being able to send and receive messages, communication from the inside of our brain to the outside world, just by the mere practice of thought, we're opening ourselves up to being hacked and to being accessed. Look, if you're able to send thoughts and then receive the answers, that means you're opening a gateway there. You basically open up a highway for somebody to get in and access your thoughts. And that is one of the most dangerous levels of technology, one of the most direct ways of dystopia that I can imagine. This is how 1984 thought police can become a proper reality. People will actually be able to basically enter your mind and read your thoughts. It starts with simple things like stuff like Amazon Alexa and Google Home. It's really cool. I love it. I have them myself. But you have to understand that these devices are always listening. They're already collecting all kinds of information about you without you knowing, and sharing it to advertisers. If you don't believe me, try it for yourself. You can research it. You might not believe the research. Try it for yourself. Talk about a certain subject. Talk about a certain subject that you never search online, and watch your phone. You will start getting ads about that subject. It's real. It's actually happening, and we've been observing this time after time. And at the same time, the one realm where we can still feel safe is our minds. If everything is rigged and everything is conspiracy and everything's evil, the one place where we can at least find some kind of solitude and true freedom, I would say, is our minds. But once we open ourselves up, and give AR access to our, nervous system and to our brain, we truly give anybody the ability to accomplish anything. Because if we allow, for example, a device to play any sound in our ear, a device that you can't take out, a device that you can't just shut off, to play sounds, to change your sight, to make you feel certain, or to give you certain taste, somebody could realistically torture you from afar. They could play all kinds of sights. They could blind you. They could do anything imaginable. So as amazing as it sounds, you have to keep in mind the kind of powers you give to outside parties, outside forces. And that truly, I think, is one of the most scary things out there. So with AR, I embrace it. I think AR is amazing, can really enhance our lives. But to an extent, I think it's important for the average person, and to draw a line where accept AR, where you can still remove it, where you maintain that power, where you can say, fuck, my contact lenses, they're blinding me. Take them out, and you're free. Just like you can unplug your computer. Like if somebody hacks a computer, you unplug it or you turn off the internet, and they're out. You still have control. But once it's ingrained in your biology, and you would truly, maybe have to like rip out some kind of like, device that's inside of you, that becomes real scary. So I would just recommend, because, and this is what we're all about on Dawn of Man, like starting these conversations, thinking about it. Anytime, and this is already happening now, where we talk about, implanting chips in yourselves, like it will make you this better and that better, and this is cool and that is cool. Yes, it's all there, but be aware of the accesses these devices give. Be aware of basically the kind of things you're opening yourself up to, and whether or not you want that. Do you want to be able to be tracked at all times without ever being able to get off the grid? Do you want other people to potentially one day, have the ability to literally speak inside your brain, to talk things, to change your side, to all kinds of things? What if like marketers, where if you, for example, let's say you buy it like this newer device where that will enhance your whole experience, and let's say it's hosted by Google. Guess what? They're gonna run freaking ads on you. You're gonna walk around and you see billboards, and there's not gonna be actual printed billboards anymore, but much rather they're tailored to you. And it's not going to be as simple as that. It's going to be a lot more brainwashing in the way where you will see these kind of like very tailored advertisements in places you don't expect. You're gonna watch movies, and they're gonna overplan parts in movies, and like in certain scenes that have an emotional reaction to you, which at that point they will also be able to measure, like, oh, he has a certain emotional reaction, he's extra susceptible. Let us like throw in some very subtle marketing message. All this stuff is going to be reality in the soon future. So I think it is so important for us as humans, yes, let's extend our capabilities, let's strive beyond our limitations, but as an individual, retain control. Because once you give it up, there's almost no way to get it back. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please throw some comments in the below. I would love to hear what your thoughts are on this debate, AR, about today's topic. And also, let me know if any other topics you want me to discuss. There's so much more we can discuss. I already have tons of ideas, in terms of AI, transhumanism. Just in this episode, so many times I got derailed where I thought, this makes a great topic. So, just give me your thoughts. I love you guys for watching this, because this is really a series close to my heart, where we really discuss really important topics that very few people talk about. So thanks so much for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.